It's funny to me how we physical beings tend to look at reality the other way around. When you look at physical things, well, anything you look at is physical, right? But when you look at physical things and you look at it on a microscopic level, it has come to the point where science acknowledges that all physical matter is created, or all physical things is created by invisible things. Or the way they phrase it is all physical things consists of invisible elements. Right? That's the proper way of saying it. So anything that you see exists literally because it is made up of things that you cannot see. Let me say that again. Everything that you can see is literally, okay? Not figuratively, not symbolically. No. It's literally made up of things that you cannot see. And as I always say, there are more things that exist that cannot be seen by the naked eyes than that which can be seen. And those things that cannot be seen cannot be destroyed. The elements, the invisible elements that make up the physical things, you can never destroy that. You burn wood, those invisible elements that made the wood is still there. But the physicality of the wood itself is destroyed. So that which cannot be seen is more everlasting, if you will, than that which can be seen. So as I started off in this audio, I said, us physical beings are looking at things the other way around. We are so foolish and ignorant that we think that all that we see is all that exists, and that if we can't see it, it doesn't exist. Well, science has already proven to us that there is more that exists that can't be seen. So that notion and that logic is completely nonsensical in this day and age. Back in the time of ignorance, when they thought that maggots came out of thin air because they didn't know what produced the maggots, right? Back then, your ignorance would be excused. But today, you say that maggots come out of thin air, we would all look at you as a fool, because that is a foolish statement, because they don't come from thin air. They come from something. But at an age of ignorance, ignorance is accepted. But now there's a time of knowledge. We know that there are invisible elements. Okay, now, the physical elements are complex, yes. The DNA, the cell, the atom, they are complex. But the invisible elements, how complex would something have to be in existence and yet at the same time invisible? Let me ask that question again. How complex does something have to be for it to actually exist, but yet your naked eyes can't see it? The physical things you see, your skin, okay, your bone, when you look at it in the microscopic level, your DNA, each cell has billions of data and information within it. Who put all that information in there? Now that information is in there, right? So it's complex, but yet it is made up of invisible elements. It is ridiculously, incomprehensibly complex, because it's something you can't even begin to imagine what it consists of, because it's invisible. So if physical things, wood, cars, machines, humans, if we are complex in our physical state, how complex is our emotional state, our spirit? We all have spirit, but there are different levels to spirits. A rabbit has a spirit, a lion has a spirit, so does a man and a woman and a child. But the rabbit's spirit is less complex than a child's spirit. A child's spirit is less complex than a fully grown man's spirit, because that spirit is in the image of someone. That spirituality of the man is not made up of the physical elements. There is a difference. So that which makes a man, that which makes a man in the image of God is not found in the physical things that a man possesses. Because if it's found in that, then all creatures should be able to do the same thing every man does, because they all have the same brain, hypothalamus. They have their pituitary glands. They got their lungs. They got their kidneys. They got their heart. So what makes a man is not anything that's found in physicality. Again, it consists of invisible things. Now that invisibleness is what God is. And God put that in man, and he covered man in flesh so that man can see other man. But he made sure that man cannot see other spiritual beings. So obviously, if a man is complex but exists, then the spirit realm has to exist. The question isn't whether it exists or not. No, that's absurd. Of course it exists. The question is, what do we physical beings have to do with the spiritual world? That is the question. What do us in the physical realm have to do with the spiritual realm? The realm that produced us and covered us in physicality. What do we have to do with that realm? The realm that caused the first living organism to take its first breath. Or let me repeat that. That caused the first organism to become a living organism and actually take its first breath. You can never cause yourself to breathe and cause yourself to live. That is completely idiotic, nonsensical. And this is just, I mean, can people really be that stupid to think that something can cause itself to breathe and come into existence and live? No. It takes something supernatural to cause the natural to begin to live.